Livestream, our weekly stream. And this is session 23, if you can believe it. So crazy. I certainly can't, but I am happy that you are joining me today. We're going to be talking about being okay with where you are in your journey. I'll give you a little bit more info on that once we kind of launch into it. But in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and go live everywhere. Let's see here. Here we go. Everywhere. Let's stop that because that is annoying. Oh, that's the thing I forgot to. It's been so long since I did this consistently every single Sunday. I kind of forgot which pages I need to have open. So let's open the live streaming page from my website. Since I haven't started teaching yet, you gotta play by play. Apologies. Oh, I totally forgot to set my phone up for Instagram. Okay, never mind. We're gonna skip Instagram today because that's the end of my sentence. You're very welcome. Okay, let's go live on Facebook, YouTube. Oh, we're live on YouTube, Instagram. Nope. LinkedIn, Twitter, and we should be live on Facebook. And the rest of the streaming medias. Let's see here. It says wait, but as I have witnessed, usually it kicks in sooner than it shows me it does. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to Deep Ministries weekly live stream. My name is Abby Levine. It is good to see you. Nice to be back. Okay, we're officially live on Twitter. Facebook is taking longer than usual. Here it is. No, it's not live yet. Cool. It's the first time I've streamed from my new laptop, so I'm not entirely certain everything is going to go smooth, but we'll just kind of see what happens. Hi, whoever's watching on YouTube. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Oops. I don't know if I was supposed to do that. Dang it. I refreshed my my streaming software. Whoops. Okay, still nothing on Facebook. Weird. Still nothing. So strange. I'm not supposed to stream today. What is happening? What is happening? Anyway, so what I had planned to talk about today, let me go ahead and record this because if it doesn't record on any of the softwares, bizarre. So strange. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. Hi, Kat. So strange. Oh boy, I'm getting used to my new laptop, and things have moved around a bit, and so I'm not entirely sure what's happening here. My screen is smaller than I'm used to, which is very strange. But anyway, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be back. Are we live on Facebook yet? What's happening? No, we're not live on Facebook. So strange. Anyway, we're just going to go ahead and continue. And hopefully at some point it's going to kick in. I'm going to keep it up here. I'll keep refreshing. But I am recording so that if it doesn't go live, I can always post it to Facebook later. Facebook, and all the other medias. Okay, cool. So in the meantime, we're just going to go ahead and get rolling. Cool. How are you? Oh, goodness. Okay, so you're having some teeth pain. Ouchies. That is not the most comfortable kind of pain. And we're under exaggerating. It's one of the hardest pains to deal with. Oh, goodness. Sending you love and as much comfort as possible. Hi, whoever is watching on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. My name is Abby Levine, and we are live streaming today for Deep Ministries weekly live stream. So bizarre how it's not going live on Facebook, but also sometimes when it's new software or things like that, some things can get screwy. So hi, Kimmy. Thank you for joining. Today, our topic is, oh shoot, what was our topic? I forgot to write it down. I put it in the email. Oh my God. Our topic is how to be okay with where we are at on our journey. Goodness gracious. That is one of the most challenging things that we can experience, is just how to be okay, right? Because part of this journey is surrender. Part of this journey is trusting and listening to our intuition. But like, what happens if where we're at fucking sucks? Like, how do we be okay with that? And the state of the world is partly what inspired this topic today, because 2 weeks ago we did start the Wealth Alchemy Formula, but really the most real thing that that launched this topic for our deep live stream today was that I am personally struggling with this particular subject, and I wasn't going to talk about it. I was going to just push through. My angels are telling me I need to go live on Instagram too. So just give me a couple of seconds, and I so appreciate you being patient with the clumsiness of the first 5 minutes of this stream so far. Hang with me. It's going to get better. Oh my God. Just hang with me. It's going to get much better. Okay, cool. So I'm personally struggling. If you've been following any of my posts, then you kind of seen a little bit of my transition with Jeff. And that's not actually what I'm struggling with right now. I moved out of that, and I've moved into kind of acceptance. I'm definitely still decompressing. I absolutely underestimated how jarring of an experience that has been for me, and how not deconstructing, but really traumatic that experience was over the last 5 months, with having someone in my house who, is completely dishonoring of me. So I've been going through that, like, the first part of June. Hi, everybody on Insta. Welcome to Deep Ministries weekly love stream. That's what we're going to call it, because goodness gracious, I don't have any more time to mess around with technology today. We got to just do this thing. Tower moments. Oh, really? Kat says so many are having tower moments like this with people they were dating. Yeah, absolutely. Hi, good morning. So yeah, that was like my first 3 weeks of June, was decompressing from, getting my ex-boyfriend out of my house, even though we've been broken up for 5 months, and finding out how much he lied to me, and finding out how much he had used me, and just kind of was very opportunistic. I'm not going to move into, I'm not going to move into victim mentality, because that was absolutely something that I signed up for, right? That was that was a knowing thing that I said yes to. But I totally underestimated how traumatic it was to put myself through that. So worked through that. Now I'm back to working, on my relationship trauma, I guess is the easiest way to say it, but just kind of over the last 5 months, good morning, over the last 4 months, just realizing, the reason I'm not in a relationship is because I don't know how to have a healthy relationship. I simply don't know. And as I dig into the healing of that, as always happens when you dig into healing, I'm starting to realize like how many patterns have been, so kind of deeply compressed and hidden, how much I've hurt people that I love, and how my behavior has, really created trauma for other people. Finding that I thought I was a benevolent overgiver, and I turn out to be actually, someone who is really quite manipulative emotionally in relationships. And, I've had moments of gaslighting people in relationships and blaming them for not meeting my expectations. And I hate seeing that about myself. And that's why I'm struggling this week, is because I'm starting to see more real things about me and how my trauma has affected other people. And I hate it. Fucking hate it. So that's why I'm struggling. But my team reminded me that I have the characteristic of the wounded healer. So even though I was going to push through and continue to teach about deep ministries, not deep ministries, I was going to continue to teach about the wealth alchemy formula today. And then I wanted to talk about, Roe versus Wade being overturned. And none of that was feeling very connected with where I am emotionally today, specifically because where I am is like just seeing something that I really don't like about myself. And I have a gift and a curse through my characteristic of being the wounded healer, which is that I actually can't teach about something that I'm not connected with. I can't, it comes off plastic. It comes off disconnected. I cannot teach about something that I'm not feeling energetically in the moment. So sometimes that means that I have to cancel class or cancel a session if I'm not able to hold space for my my one-on-one clients. And sometimes that means I have to show up like today in the rawness of what I'm experiencing so that I can teach through healing my woundedness. And it's not pretty. It isn't. It's not pretty to experience. And Kat says you start healing from the inside out. You have to have a healthy relationship first. Hashtag ask me how I know. Exactly. Awareness is the first huge leap forward. And it is the only, you cannot, hi, how are you? You cannot heal yourself until you have this level of awareness. And you can have different levels of awareness. Your awareness can keep getting clearer and clearer and clearer. And because this is like my number one focus, this is where all of my clarity is getting like crystal clear. But with clarity comes having to look at yourself in the mirror and not liking what you see. It's having emotional reactions or having physical reactions that you wish you were evolved beyond. Right. So that's just kind of the reality of where we're at. So we're going to heal this together. We're going to work on this together. How do I be okay with where I am at on my journey if I'm not fucking okay with it? So that's our topic for today. If this is your first time tuning into Deep Ministries, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. You probably are not here anymore because, oh gosh, the first few minutes of our stream was so freaking clumsy. But if you are still here, thank you for your patience. Deep Ministries is my nonprofit. It has a two-pronged point of action. Prong one is education, and DEEP stands for Divine Evolutionary Path. The Divine Evolutionary Path are practical steps rooted in spirit that anyone can take to get to their highest, most abundant, most evolved life of their choice. These steps work for everyone, regardless of your background, regardless of where you are in your life. They are universal. And on my Sunday live streams, I teach the principles and the theories of Deep Ministries. We're in the middle of working on track one, which is dissolving poverty mindset and building an abundance mindset. And then our second prong is on the ground action. And what we're working on right now is building housing for youths who are emancipating from the foster care system, which is a very close to my heart subject since I was personally raised in foster care. So that's what we're doing. Who am I? I already mentioned my name. I am Abby Levine. I started my healing work as a hypnotherapist to heal my massive amount of trauma and abuse from my personal childhood. It pivoted and shifted into working on money mindset. When I started working on money mindset, some really incredible things started happening for my clients. Over the last 3 years during the pandemic, my teachings and healings have helped create for my clients over $1 billion in revenue. So that's what they've made in the last 3 years. And most of them started at less than $5,000 a month. So that's kind of where I've come from. And now we're evolving into more holistic teachings, even though money mindset is still vital, because if you're worrying about how you're paying your bills, you can't sink into the truth of who you are. You can't sink into who you came here to be, because money is a constant distraction. So money mindset is still very important, but so is the rest of your being. So is healing your trauma. So is knowing practical tools of how to live in this world that is incredibly triggering all the time. Oh God, we live with other humans, and we are just, a little bit fucked up. That's just how we are. So that's Deep Ministries. That's a teensy bit about who I am. We do have some announcements, some exciting things to announce before we move on. First of all, we hit our fundraising goal for Cassie. Yay! I'm going to do a post about it. I just have to be stationary at my computer long enough to be able to tag everybody who donated to our fundraiser. So, and I also have a beautiful thank you message from Cassie to everybody who supported this mission, is supporting Deep Ministries, so that we were able to support her on her journey. And our launch party, just a reminder about our launch party, it's going to be on September 10th, 325. Anyone who would like to come is able to. I'm actually going to be hosting a taco and tequila summer close down at my house. So we're going to do a taco and tequila festival party fundraiser funness at the end of summer in September. So that's going to be really fun. So just if you haven't saved the date yet, save the date. If you would like to travel to Santa Clarita to come to our fundraiser, please do. You are very, very welcome. There will certainly be a cap on the amount of tickets that are sold, because there's a certain amount of people that I can have in my house. But yeah, I'm very excited about that. Cool. All right. So before we launch into how do you be okay with where you are at on our journey? Let's talk. I just want to do a quick recap. Yeah, weird. My stream is just not starting on LinkedIn or Facebook. So strange. So strange. Never mind. That's why we are recording. Cool. All right. Well, we're going to drop that and I'll just post it after. A couple of reminders, okay, about the journey. Reminder number 1 is about the mountaintop. Society grooms us to be striving for the mountaintop. And if you haven't watched the live stream or heard me teach about this, the mountaintop is this invisible place that most people have. And I can't say everyone has a mountaintop that they're striving for, because I don't know everybody in the world. But anyone who I have met has some version of this mountaintop. It's the grand goal. It's the big image. It's the dream. It's the, when I get here, everything will be better. For some people, the mountaintop is financial. So when I make $100,000, $250,000, 500, 1 million, 10 million, when I get here, when I get to this place, everything will be better. My life will be solved. For some people, the mountaintop is a relationship. So it could be a love relationship, it could be a friendship. Usually it's going to be a partnership of some sort. If it's a mountaintop, it's when I find my person, everything will be complete. I will be happy. My life will be better, etc., etc. Okay, so for some people, it's a person. For some people, it's a philanthropic dream. When I have my home, when I have fill in the blank, to do with results oriented things, like actual markers that you can check off. When I have this, everything will be solved. I will feel whole. And for some people, it could be a health goal. When I am no longer in pain, when I am and Kat, that doesn't count with the tooth thing. Like that's like a real thing. We're talking about like long term, could be weight loss. When I am at my goal weight, then I will feel whole, satisfied, beautiful, complete. I will feel worthy of love, right? So everyone that I have ever met, spoken to, or encountered in some kind of capacity has a version of the mountaintop, has a version of when I get here, everything will be better. Everything will be okay. I will fill in the blank, right? It's got this, they're like dream-like quality about it. Definitely the mountaintop involves what I call glamour goals, right? Glamour goals, they have this dreamy quality. And it feels like they're the key. They're the key to solving our current challenges, pains, issues, etc. Kat says she's been struggling with weight because your inner child decided to, pack on 50 pounds to protect you after falling in love again because she was expecting trauma. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep, that totally is a very, very natural trauma response. If it's like a physical buffer from people, it literally keeps people at a further distance away from you. Yep. So we have this mountaintop, okay? Most people that we're striving towards. Many people are obsessed with it. They're fully focused on it. It takes up a lot of thought energy, whether that's a good thought energy, like this is what I'm going to do about it, or finding solutions to get you to the mountaintop quicker, or whether that is negative, I guess I don't want to really label it, but like uncomfortable energy around, things like helplessness, despair. I'm never going to get there. When am I going to get there? Frustration, self-disappointment, right? Things like that. So many of us can get obsessive about striving for the mountaintop. Especially one of the easiest ways to get trapped in obsession once you begin a healing journey is to be constantly focused on, how do I solve this? How do I solve this? And allows no space for your reality. It allows no space for you to feel. You get so caught up in, okay, well, there are ways that I can heal this. How do I heal this? Make space for your emotions. Okay. That's coming later, but I remember that. Yeah. I forgot to write that down in my notes. Okay. So we're trapped in this obsessive energy that I call the affluence addiction, because we're trying to gain something of some sort. For a lot of people, it is money, but it's not money exclusively. It's definitely some of the things I've mentioned, but that wasn't an exhaustive list. It's more things. Everybody has a different kind of mountaintop that we get kind of like into this zombie-like state, trying to chase it, okay? Trying to acquire this thing that we think is going to make us happy. And while we do that, we miss life. We miss living because we're so focused on the future of it, on the past of it, or we get trapped in the loop of emotions that are created when we move into this obsession. And you can be at any stage of this racing for the mountaintop. You can be in the stage of despair, disillusionment, and resignation, where you're just like, I'm never going to get there, right? Like an example of how that would relate to money would be, I'm never going to get to 100,000 or $1 million, right? You could be in that stage. You could be in the stage of, okay, I'm not there yet, but I'm figuring it out and I'm going to figure this out. You could be in the stage of, I'm in between, like, how that would relate with money. Like, I'm not broke, but I'm not wealthy, but I'm still going to get there. I'm going to figure this out. Or you have some left over and you have stuff that you want, but it's not enough. Or you could be in the, I have everything I want, but I'm still not fulfilled stage. There's so many different phases of this racing for the mountaintop phenomenon that is like universal. But you're still in it, still striving, or still pushing, or maybe depressed when you can't relax into the moment of just experiencing and receiving and releasing what you're going through. Okay. Oh, share. I'm trying to read my notes and I was like, huh? I couldn't read it. Okay, so accepting where you're at on your journey is easy when you like where you're at. It comes naturally. You can see that it's part of the process. You can feel that you're moving in a positive direction. You can be happy, you can be proud of yourself. But accepting where you're at when you don't care for where you're at is really, 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 really difficult. I really dislike finding these behaviors that I'm finding out about myself when it comes to relationships. Finding out that I have really high expectations of people that they did not set, that is not based on anything to do with reality, and then finding that historically, when someone hasn't met my expectations, I have punished them for it, shamed them, blamed them, tried to groom them into meeting my expectations, tried to heal them, tried to change them, tried to do something to get them to be the person that I thought they should be. And when they might have reacted to me trying to change them by saying, stop trying to change me, or been resistant to my attempts to emotionally manipulate them, punished them for that, iced them out, cut them off, left the situation, and called it boundaries, and called it protecting myself. That is toxic behavior. Expecting someone to live up to your expectations and then punishing them for not is a form of abuse. And I really don't like seeing that about myself. So where I've been in the last 2 to 3 days is like deeply in despair, deeply in remorse, deeply grieving the hurt that I've caused people by putting them through these cycles. And I'm not taking 100% of the blame. In every single situation, there were lots of ways that I could disqualify my behavior and project it onto them because of the way that they were behaving. There were lots of reasons that I could come up with that made my behavior okay. Let's say that in one of my relationships, well, not let's say, the truth is, in one of my relationships, the person I was with was doing the exact same thing to me, right? They were doing the exact same thing to me. So because he was trying to change me and make me be what he expected me to be, it made it totally okay that I was trying to do the same thing. But it's not okay. Why? Because just because someone else is doing it does not make the fact that I'm doing it okay. Nothing disqualifies my responsibility. Nothing makes it okay for me to behave in a certain way. Nothing. Okay? Because that's just not how the world works. It's not he started it. It's not she started it. It's not anything like that. Like, you are always responsible for your own behavior. You're always responsible for your own healing. So I'm simply not okay. I'm not okay at seeing that this is how I've behaved. I'm having grace with myself as best as I can, because I am on a healing journey to create and build healthy, loving relationships. But this, when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, this is part of it, right? Part of healing is looking at the reality of the situation and going, ew, gross, disgusting, what I have done, what I have allowed, all of it. The allowed part was easier because it allowed me to blame. It allowed me to blame what I have allowed in my life, put it on the other person, right? This is what they did to me and I allowed it, right? It still came with a certain level of trauma and hurt. Anyway, this is not Abby's therapy session. This is how do we be okay with where we're at, even if it's just awful. Okay, so the truth is, loves, that this is just part of the evolution. This is part of growth. Like Kat mentioned very eloquently earlier, if you can't see it, you can't heal from it. If you can't see it, you can't find the root of that behavior. You can't find the original trauma to release it and heal it. You can't move beyond. You can't move beyond it. If you can't see why you are here, what you did that created this moment in your life, you are destined to perpetually play out the same situation with different circumstances / people. There have to be these pivotal moments where you are not okay, where you're not okay with where you're at, where you're not okay with what you have created, where you're not okay with the state of the world. When it's something that's outside of your control, it's so important for you to acknowledge that you're not okay with it so that you can put yourself back into a position of what you do and don't do, of what you can and can't control, of what you can influence and what you can't, right? It's so important to be where you are, especially when you're not okay with it. Growing, seeing, confronting the truth, knowing that it's all part of the evolution. So here is what you can do. Here are some of the things that you can do when you're going through this, when you are not okay with where you are in your life, where you are not okay with what is happening. Here are some of the things. Okay. Number 1, make space for your experience. And I will go into what that means, but you need to give yourself room to experience it. You have to give yourself room to think about it, to journal about it, to talk about it with a trusted, safe person who is not going to try to talk you out of your experience, who is not going to invalidate your experience, who is not going to try to explain away your experience, okay? You need to give yourself room to be where you are. And I know that kind of sounds overly simplified. But the reason that I'm saying this directly is because what we will tend to do is distract ourselves from it with a busyness thing. A busyness thing could be working. It could be focusing on healing something else. It could be eating. It could be drinking. It could be going out. It could be errands. It could be anything. It could be cleaning. I know lots of people who distract themselves by, cleaning their whole house top to bottom and like getting as granular as toothbrushes cleaning out the grout, That's simply, yes, doom scrolling, absolutely. Yeah, totally, social media. So we're very good as a species at distracting ourselves from making space for our experience. So I'm calling you not to. I'm calling you to the carpet to make room, to turn it over. What that looks like to me is sitting and staring. I don't even journal about it when I'm making space for it. I don't make lists. I'm not even doing processes. I'm literally just sitting and staring with a blanket usually, and then just a glass of water. Nothing's on the TV. I'm just sitting and staring. Sometimes I'm on the sofa. Friday, I was in bed, sitting and staring, and it's just giving myself space to think about, to turn it over, making space for it. Hi, Jules. So just give yourself some space for your experience. There's some unconscious gems that are being unearthed when you give yourself space for it. Also, when I say make some space for your experience, also don't rush to try to fix it. We are not rushing to the root cause to do a limiting belief clearing on it immediately. If you rush to try to fix it, you're going to skip some important stuff. You're going to skip some important roots of it. You're going to skip the big picture. And when you skip the big picture, it means you're not getting all of it in your unearthing of this experience, okay? So don't rush to heal it. Give yourself some space with it. The easiest way to do that is to trust your body and trust your mind, okay? The easiest way. Trust your body, trust your mind. If your body says, I'm too tired for that, trust it. Take a nap. Give yourself space around it. If your mind says, I can't deal with that right now, trust it. If you are thinking about watching, hi Shelly, if you're thinking about watching your favorite TV show, and you just are like, oh, and you feel overwhelmed just at the thought of it, trust it. Don't put it on. Just don't put it on. Give yourself space. Give yourself time. If all you can do in that moment is sit and stare, trust it. Ask your intuition, should I push through this? And trust it, okay? As best as you can. Make room for your experience. And your emotions. No problem, sweetness. Step two. Remind yourself it's okay to feel uncomfortable things. Now, when I say uncomfortable things, let's just take a minute to know that that is minimizing some of the ways that it feels to experience like these things when we're not okay with where we're at. Some of the uncomfortable things can be hate, loathing, can be rage at yourself and others, can be a feeling of wanting to destroy, right? Can be disgust. I mentioned to someone last night who's just holding space. Fascinatingly enough, it's the person who triggered me to see this about myself. I mentioned I hate what I'm discovering about myself. And I'm not over exaggerating or under exaggerating. Like, I hate it. I hate seeing that I have caused people harm. I loathe it. It disgusts me. It's me. I have previously perceived myself as just a ball of love and light. So to know that my behaviors have actually caused someone trauma, I fucking hate it. I do. And that's uncomfortable. But know that it's okay to feel uncomfortable things. Okay? Know that it's okay to feel these uncomfortable emotions, these heavy, heavy, heavy emotions. That's another way that you can get okay with not being okay with where you are in your life, is that it's okay to feel these uncomfortable things. You can do hard things. You can feel hard things. You're strong. You're really strong. And these, I just want to throw out some things, some narratives that you can say to yourself when you're in these spaces, right? When you aren't okay with where you're at. Here are some of the things that you can just say to yourself. I hate this. And that's okay. I'm disappointed in the world. And that's okay. I am mad at the human race. And that's okay. I'm disgusted, or I'm grieving that humanity and I are so unevolved. And that's okay. I am furious to the point that I want to annihilate. And that's okay. And I'm terrified of my fury and my rage. And that's okay. Right? Hi, Ted. Good morning. I wish I wasn't here. I wish I felt differently. I wish this person or these people would be fucking people and not be dicks. Or I wish that so-and-so would be better, would be different. I wish that I was doing better. I wish that I was further ahead. I wish. And it's okay. Make space. And then the last one, number 3. Okay. So those are some of the narratives that you can say to yourself. I hate this. I fucking hate it. I hate these people. I hate this person. And that's okay. And I feel guilty. That's also okay. All of it is okay. Let's talk about why it's okay. Why is it okay to feel some of these really awful things? Some of these things that we don't like feeling. Why is it okay? Well, it's okay, sweetness, because this is where we are. This is reality. There's no getting away from that. You are smart. There's 100 ways you could distract yourself from it. There's 100 ways you could talk yourself around it. There's 100 ways you could find to suppress the reality of how you feel and what you're going through. However, that doesn't change the fact that it's reality and it's what you're going through. So if you give yourself space to just acknowledge it, just to feel it, it actually allows the energy to move through you. It allows you to unhook from the cycle of emotion and move beyond it. Giving yourself space to feel the reality of where you are at. No matter how uncomfortable it is, you can do hard things. You can do hard things. You've done hard things. You will do more hard things. You're going to be okay. So when you give yourself permission to experience the reality of where you are at, give yourself the ability to release the emotions around it and move beyond it. You give yourself the ability to not get stuck in it. Shelley says she wishes she could feel different about how life throws such ugly things, and you wish you could feel better about the world and the evil people are lashing on each other over decisions made by people in power. Absolutely. I wish I could control the way that people are responding to trying to decide if I'm filtering myself or not. I'm teaching right now, so yes, slightly. I wish that I could control the way that people are responding to other people's decisions, because I can see how much hurt is being created in people's responses, and people are using each other as punching bags for misdirected rage. Correct, Kat. So, mission accomplished. Correct. But it doesn't mean we can't move through it. And good, we noticed that. Grr, frustrated, fury, rage. Stop being an idiot. Stop being a dick. Be a human, you know? Gosh, it doesn't seem that complicated. And yet, sitting from where I am, deep within my perspective of seeing, you know, this historically abusive trauma that I have played out on people who had loved me, I know I can't judge. I know I can't judge. I know we all play out our trauma the way we play it out until we heal from it. And that's the reality of what it is. Right? And I get to have my feelings about it. I get to judge. I do, because my experience is valid. I'm a divine human being, and my right to experience my experience as I'm experiencing it is valid. Doesn't mean it's accurate. Doesn't mean I have a right to judge. Doesn't validate my opinion. Doesn't mean I am right. It just means I have a right to experience my experience. And that's where it stops. That's where it stops. It doesn't mean I am right and everyone should do things my way. It just means this is where I'm at. The moment you can say to yourself, this fucking sucks, I fucking hate it, and I wish it was different, is the moment you give that energy permission to leave your body, as long as you don't keep hooking into it, right? Sometimes we love the drama of it, so we keep emotionally hooking into it. We read all the articles, we read every comment on the post stream, we argue with everybody, right? We keep hooking into it because we enjoy the drama of it on some level, on some capacity, right? Or we're in warrior mode and we want to annihilate everybody who has a different opinion than we do. Okay. If you don't keep hooking into it and re-triggering your emotion, you give yourself permission to move it through your body. You give yourself permission to release it, room to breathe. You can let it be honored and then move beyond it. Every part of your experience, darling, is valid, even the parts that you wish didn't exist. Every part of your humanity is valid, even the parts that you wish weren't there. And because every part of your experience is valid, every part needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be witnessed. It needs to be validated. It needs to have permission to be there, right? Because when it doesn't have permission to be there, we shut it down and we create all kinds of emotional and physical reactions. Life, yes. Yes. You are a sovereign being. Every part of your experience is valid. One other important thing that's really important to know is that just to be aware of, when you get into dark moments where you're not okay with where you are on your journey, that would be a very easy time to try to rush yourself to gratitude. And that rushing to gratitude is very much reflected in conversations with people who are not safe. Right? How do those conversations go? This is how I'm feeling. Yeah, but aren't you glad that this isn't how you're feeling or what you're experiencing? Or this is how I'm feeling. Yeah, but look at the silver lining of the situation, right? That's not a safe place to experience your emotion. You're trying to rush yourself to gratitude. Also, don't do that for others. Someone expresses an emotion, man, that sucks. Would you like to tell me more about the experience of that or what you're feeling? Man, that sounds so fucking painful. Once you get a sense that they've been given permission, if you want to hold space, if you're not in a position to hold space, that sucks. And you don't ask any open-ended questions about it. Okay. If you're not in a position to hold space, you get to not have to hold space for people always. But if you are in an emotional position where you can hold space for people and you want to, once you have vented your emotions, or they have vented their emotions, the question is, I can see a different perspective. Are you open? Or is now not the time? Qualify, validate, ask permission before you project your perception of their experience. Ask permission. If someone does that to you, I do this all the time. Please don't invalidate my emotion. Please don't rush me through. This is my emotional experience. Please do not do that. All the time. Hey, no. I have a right to feel the way that I'm feeling. Please don't rush me through that. Please don't rush me through my process. Please don't rush me through my journey. Please don't try to tell me what to do. Please don't try to rush me to the end. This is where I am at. Please do not invalidate. Right? So that permission, you have permission to say that to people who are trying to rush you through your experience. Okay? Do not try to force yourself to gratitude. Invalidation of your emotions is one of the main components and contributors to this anxiety and depression epidemic that we're experiencing as a global society. That's right, Julie. Everybody does want to rush you through. And if you try to rush to gratitude, guess what you're doing? Suppressing the feelings that actually exist in reality. Guess what happens if you try to suppress the feelings that exist in reality? Oh, was I paused? Was I paused for a second? Interesting. Oh, weird. No, Zoom didn't close on me. So maybe it was just your Zoom cat. Yeah, because we kept going. So what you do if you try to rush through your emotional experience is you're suppressing the feelings that exist in reality, and that lengthens your depression and anxiety. That lengthens the time that you're experiencing what you're experiencing. The easiest way to get through that is just to fucking feel it, dude. Make space for your emotions. That is step. Yeah, you joined twice, Shelly, and I have no idea how that happened, but it did. So that's what is happening. Yeah, it's very strange. Feel the feelings. Feel them. Step number 3. When you find yourself in a position that you don't enjoy being in, feel it. Yeah, double shot of me. Goodness gracious. Feel it. Feel the emotions. Let yourself be where you're at. Breathe them through. Breathe them through. Okay. No, I should be grateful. No, I should have it worse. It would be very easy for me to invalidate my life experience at this moment. Very easy. I have everything I could possibly want or need. I'm incredibly blessed. And that doesn't escape me. And I'm super grateful for it. I have everything. Everything. My needs are taken care of indefinitely. Indefinitely. And I mean that literally. So it'd be very, very easy for someone to say, yeah, but at least XYZ. At least you don't have to worry about your bills. At least you live in a nice house. At least you have your space now. At least you have a pool. Think of all the people who are going through this heat who don't have a pool, right? It would be very easy for me to invalidate my experience. And I simply won't allow that. I simply won't allow it. Why? Because my experience is fucking real. There are parts of my past behavior that I hate that have existed, that I grieve that have existed. There is harm that I have done to people that I wish that I hadn't. And that is real. And that is real. And it's okay for me to feel that. And it's okay for me to experience that. And it's okay for me to go through that. I am allowed, and so are you. And when you let yourself, it allows the energy to move through so you can move beyond. So you can move into solutions. So that you can. If you rush through the emotional experience of it, you will keep perpetuating the same cycle. Okay? You have to just be where you're at. It's okay if you're not okay with it. It's okay that it's better than most. It's okay that you might be the top 10% of the wealthy. It's okay that you feel guilty about being the top 10% of the wealthy and still not feeling grateful. It's okay. It's all right. This is all part of it. This is all part of learning to accept yourself where you are in each moment. This is part of practicing surrender. This is the hard part. Oh, you're fucking brilliant. They're fucking brilliant. Because guess what I was supposed to teach on today? Surrender. And guess what the hardest thing to do is? Surrender in the moments that you are not okay with what is happening in your life or in the world. But since I didn't start off with surrender, we got some sneaky access to your unconscious mind. Boom! Man, you're brilliant. This shit is so cool. All right, my loves. So that's it. Let's take a moment. Let me read what you wrote, Shelley. Yes, Roe versus Wade, and people are going at each other, friends against friends. It's sad. Yeah. There are some people that I've been friends with for years that support the turnover of Roe versus Wade. And I had a moment where I questioned whether I should stay friends with them or not. And then I decided to pause my decisions until after I'm done experiencing the rage that I'm experiencing from the turnover, because I can't make any sound decisions from where I'm at emotionally with regards to what just happened. I can't at this moment. And that's okay. And that's okay. So let's just take a moment. Take some nice deep breaths. If you're not driving, close your eyes. Just settle into the center of yourself. See if you can give yourself permission to duck below, to sink below the chaos in your brain. Oh, of course I couldn't live stream on Facebook. I get it. That makes sense. Sink below the chaos. Just think to yourself, I wish, fill in the blank. That's okay. I wish I was. Fill in the blank, and that's okay. I wish the world was. Okay. I wish, fill in the blank with a person's name, was, fill in the blank. That's okay. This is how you practice letting yourself be where you are. This is what surrender looks like and feels like. Surrender, by the way, is step 1 of the wealth alchemy formula. Brilliant. Back to the body. Coming back to the now. I love that. Ubi, so beautiful. Always moving through and always changing. The heartbeat happening, which is a moment of many with the possibility of awakening to a brand new love is possible. Absolutely. Absolutely. How are you feeling, everyone? How are you doing? You'll notice that nothing is solved. Nothing is solved. Because that's not the way that evolution works. That's not the way that life works. We're not constantly looking to solve. We are looking to experience, to move through, and to evolve. That's what we're looking for. We naturally seek out painless. We naturally want to move through what is painful, and that's okay too. But that's simply not what life is. That's simply not what our experience of life is. It's not going to happen. Makes sense? You typing, Kat? No, okay. Just being good. Good. All right, my darlings. That's all for today. That is all for today. Next weekend, next Sunday, Serafina and I, oh, good. Yay. Because when Kat says she feels so calm now, because the truth is, when you allow yourself to move through the experience, you can come back to peace of heart and stillness. That's where we always long to be. So it's not trying to maintain peace of heart. It's not what it's looking like. It's not like trying to cling to peace of heart, peace of mind, stillness. Oh, I'm trying to hold my peace. That's not what it is. It's okay, I'm not peaceful. Cool. That fucking sucks. Let me feel, let me be, let me just experience, let me move through, let me express. Oh, cool. Now I'm back to stillness. Now I'm back to peace of heart. That is what it looks like. And once you're back to peace of heart, in come the ahas, in come the limiting beliefs that we needed to see, in come the moments of clarity. Oh, fuck, I didn't see that. I didn't know that. I hadn't witnessed that yet about myself, right? But you have to be okay with where you're at first, coming back to stillness, having the clarity. Next comes the work, then the evolution. Give me a sec. I have to write this down. First, it's feeling, stillness, ahas, work, evolution. Hey, that's cool. I just channeled the process of evolution. I'm sure I'm not discovering it, but that's the simplest I've ever seen it. Thanks. Cool. That's the process of evolution. Trigger first. Trigger. Thanks. Neato. And you guys were here live witnessing it. That's neat. All right, my darlings. So, okay, as I was saying, next week I'm going to be at the Anime Expo with Serafina. So no Deep Ministries next week. But we'll pick it up the week after. So much love to you. Love, 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 love. Ubi says it's always good to remember how most of our journeys will unfold. Yeah. I mean, I projected unfold, but or go. Yeah, it is. It's good to remember that we're not going through it alone, right? Sending you so much love. Lots of fun stuff coming up, piecing itself together as I move through this part of the feeling. I'm having more moments of stillness and clarity and ahas coming through, but it's not time to move into the work, into the action portion of it just yet. But I'm here and I'm around. And I love you and I'm holding space for you while I am focusing on holding space for myself also. And have an amazing week. So much love to you. Love to you all. Thank you so much for joining and sending you all the love. It's never going to be a road which jumps in a simple, clear, straightforward way. Ever. Since time is not linear. That's simply not how we work. Not how the setup goes. I love that we have this perception. I don't love it. I fucking hate it. But this perception that things will go in a linear fashion is so fascinating and comes from our need to feel safe, right? To be able to predict what's going to happen. And yet is completely an illusion. So being where you're at when you are there is the easiest way to come to stillness, wherever you're at, even if you don't care for it. Bye.